morning, everyone, and thank you again for coming into my kitchen. This morning we're going to be cooking a drunken pork tenderloin. I'm Geraldine.
Hi, I'm Carla.
Yay! And together we are a journey through wine and food, and we hope that you guys are enjoying our videos. But Carla, tell them exciting news. What did we get today?
Oh my goodness, we got our book proof in the mail. We broke out with chills all over. So excited with the quality. Cannot wait for it to be published and in our hot little hands so we can get them to you.
Yes, we are about 6 weeks out from having a limited supply of books, and then in November we will have our full supply. So just keep watching and you'll find out some important dates, and I think we'll talk about those a little later on as we're waiting for the pork to cook. So let's get started. So I want to just let you know that I already seasoned my pork tenderloins.
And again, I wish there was smell vision.
I had them sitting for a couple of hours now, but I'm going to tell you how to make this wonderful rub that you can use for other dishes, pork chops, whatever you want to use it for, just by making it and putting it in an airtight container and letting it sit. So what I did this morning is I added a teaspoon of garlic powder, okay, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, all right, a teaspoon of oregano, a half a cup of brown sugar in here, firmly packed, so pack it down really tight, 2 tablespoons of chili powder, all right, 2 tablespoons of smoked paprika.
And that smells so good.
Yes, and it's important, if you can, to use the smoked paprika instead of just the regular paprika. I added 2 teaspoons of cumin in there. We added some 2 teaspoons of dry thyme, 2 teaspoons of ground mustard. Trying to watch my salt, so I did a half a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of black pepper. What I did was just made sure that I rubbed the spices all over the tenderloins, okay? Getting all sides. Put them in the refrigerator, let them marinate for about 2 hours. Take them out, let them get to room temperature, and then you can start to cook them. Are we ready?
Yes, we are.
All right,
Can't
here we
wait.
go. Okay, so we're... Okay, so with your stove on, which really helps, we put our tenderloins into this. When you begin, you're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Turn your stove on to about a medium-high heat. You're going to put your pork loin into the skillet with no oil, no nothing in there, okay? It's going to be real simple. Because I know Carla and Dave like to eat what we've cooked during the day, I'm making 2.
Oh, yes, we do. My husband especially.
So that way Dave has some dinner, right? I'm going to set this over here, excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to teach you a little trick. Don't touch these loins for 3 minutes. Just let them cook. Don't try to turn them. Don't move them. Just keep them still for 3 minutes and let them get brown. After 3 minutes, turn them over and brown the other side.
Why is that?
And that is because they will not stick. If I tried to move them now, they would be stuck to the bottom of the pan.
Ah.
But if we let them cook for 3 minutes, it no longer is stuck to the bottom of the pan. Not an issue anymore.
Didn't know that.
I'm going to teach you something new yet, right?
Yes,
So
you are.
We're both a work in progress, can you tell? But it does smell good, and it is wonderful.
And it's sizzling. I hope you can hear the sizzle as it's browning in there. It looks so good. Smells so good.
Thank you.
What's over here?
Well, we have 1 large white onion that's very thinly sliced, that once we take these out of this skillet, we're going to put the onions in and saute them. And I'm going to get a wooden spoon out so that we can scrape up the bits of the pork that will be in the bottom of the pan. And our 3 minutes is up, so we're going to just take these up and turn them over and brown the other side. Look at how that is lifted right up there. Isn't that easy?
Oh, that looks good too. Lovely brown. Oh,
That's good. Yes. I just want to say while we are waiting for this to brown here for a couple of minutes, that our wine that we're using today is from one of our local wineries, Moravia Wines. And if you have never been there, you don't know what you're missing, because they have such a wonderful tasting room. The owners are fantastic. The staff is phenomenal. And their wine, well, it's it's very yummy, yes. And they do have Friday night family events for the next couple of weeks. I think they're end of the year. Last one for this summer is the 27th. Yep, of September. And if you go
it's
there,
their harvest party, right?
yes, so the kids get to stomp grapes. Ooh, I know.
They have face painting,
Face painting,
pumpkins.
yes, pumpkin
Don't they
decorating,
have
hay rides,
in
the vineyard.
Yep. In the vineyard.
So, and if you go as a bonus, you might just see us out there.
Could be.
You never know. So, if you ever want to see a celebrity live and in person, be at Moravia on the 27th, right?
It's on my calendar.
So, the wine I'm using today is their Estate Merlot. I like to use Merlot in this recipe. You can use any red wine, but I just really think that this enhances the flavor of what we're cooking today. And so that's why I chose that particular wine. Okay, these look like they're about ready to come out of here now. So what we're going to do is remove them from the skillet. We're going to place them back in our baking dish. Look at that. Look at how perfectly those come out. They smell, can you see that?
Smells so good.
Look at how beautiful. So
Oh
now
my.
we're going to pour about a fourth of this bottle of wine into this skillet. And I'm just going to measure it out using my eyeballs.
You can certainly measure yours out if you prefer.
Yes, you can. I just want to use a fourth
I
of a
would be
bottle.
measuring.
Just a fourth of a bottle, because all you're really going to do is deglaze the pan.
What's that?
Deglazing the pan is getting all these yummy pork pieces that are stuck at the bottom of the skillet. It's loosening all of these up. See how we're getting particles in here, and it's starting to...
And it is too. It's actually bringing them up.
It's bringing them up. And it's also a great way to clean your pan.
And it smells so good.
Well, and there is that. Okay, so we're deglazing all of this. Okay, we're also we're going to add the onions in. I did one. Okay, so we're going to add these in. We're going to let them saute in here for a couple of minutes, get them nice and soft. So now we have all of the brown pork bits up off of the skillet. We have our onions sauteed. Oh man, I wish you could be in here smelling this. And we're going to add the rest of this bottle of wine into the skillet with the onions.
Is that why this is called Drunken?
So we're not getting drunk, but the
No,
pork
but
is,
the pork
right?
is, right?
The pork is getting drunk, not the cooks, and that's a good thing, right? Because we would be in trouble.
Yeah, we don't drink. Not while we're cooking.
Not, well, I don't know. Speak for yourself sometimes. Had a wonderful glass of Riesling while I was cooking last night. Okay, so I have that all in here. I have that cooking. You need to let it come to a boil. Okay, let it come to a boil and simmer down just a little bit. So about 3 minutes. If you let it go for about 3 minutes, and while it's cooking, you can just smell the wonderful flavors. And you know what you might not know too, I know some people don't realize it, is that the alcohol content cooks out. When you cook alcohol, did you know that you no longer have an alcohol content in that in that dish. So I know that sometimes people are worried about that. All we're really doing is adding flavor. And an incredible flavor it is. Okay, so we've let this simmer down here for 3 minutes. It came to a boil. We're going to turn off our heat. And we're going to take this wine and onion mixture. That smells so incredibly good.
And carefully.
Because it's very hot.
Yeah.
We're going to pour it over our tenderloins. Okay?
That absolutely looks and smells so good.
Trying to get onions on both of them.
Oh my gosh, Jerry, again, you've outdone yourself. It looks amazing and smells good.
I'm gonna put this all on here like this. Isn't that wonderful? Get all that wine out of there. Cover these things. Put the onions on both of them. Kind of move them around a little bit so you have onions there. And now you're going to place it in your preheated oven. Remember, we talked about preheating the oven at 350 degrees when we first started. So we're going to take, ooh, look, there's a couple more onions. We can't leave those in there. Okay, I've got to have the onions. Now we're going to take it and we're going to put it into the oven at 350 for approximately 35 to 40 minutes. Pork is done when it reaches 145 degrees. So if you have a meat thermometer and you want to know, put it into the thickest piece of your meat and make sure that it reaches 145 degrees. So let's put it in the oven. Okay, nobody look at my oven though either, right? Okay.
Oh, it looks just fine.
And there we
And it
have
goes.
it.
And how long are we leaving it in here? Did
35 to 40 minutes.
All right. Okay, we'll be back.
Okay, and through the magic of YouTube, our pork tenderloin is now done, and I'm going to pull it out of the oven. Be careful not to burn myself, which I so often have a habit of doing.
Oh, that smells so good. It looks delicious.
Beautiful. We're going to take the tenderloins out of the baking dish, and we're going to put them on a tray so that
Come across here for
we
you.
can let them sit for 10 minutes before we start cutting into them. Getting all the onions out of there as best we can. Look at that.
That looks so good. You guys have no idea how delicious this smells. Oh my gosh. You guys need to be making this dish.
Yes, they do. As a matter of fact, we were thinking.
Perfect lead-in, right?
Right. How would you guys feel about a little contest?
We're always up for competition, so we're
love
hoping
it.
you guys are too.
Okay.
All right, let me slide in front of you here and place this over here out of the way.
Okay. So now we're going to take our juice that we have left in our baking dish from pulling the pork out. And while it is resting, we're going to pour the juice back into the original skillet that we used to brown everything.
Oh man, look at you. You are so good.
Not making a huge mess.
No
We're going
mess
to do
at
that,
all.
right? Okay.
Well, I had it all over the stovetop.
We're going to set this in the sink because it is kind of hot, but we're going to set it over here and try not to break anything. Okay, and to that, look at this. We're going to add a package of brown gravy mix.
Does it matter what kind of brown gravy packet?
Doesn't matter as long as it's brown gravy. So we're going to put this on high again, and we're going to whisk the gravy mix into our wine that we used to cook the tenderloin in. And we're going to let it kind of come to a boil. We're going to whisk it around in here, get all your lumps out. How many of you remember eating lumpy mashed potatoes and gravy as a child?
Yeah. My mom still has trouble making mashed potatoes and gravy. Oh gosh, that looks so good.
So we're going to let this come to a boil.
Guys, so good.
Once it starts to boil, we're going to turn it down to medium. And we're going to let it simmer. okay, and let it get thick. You want it to be a gravy consistency, so you want it thick because you want to serve this over that wonderful tenderloin that we did. The way I like to eat it, and the way my husband liked to have it, was over some mashed potatoes. So we did some red mashed potatoes. Just boil your potatoes. I like to add a little garlic to my potatoes and some butter. Or you can make a butter compound with chives and things, however you want to make it.
Would you want to explain that to the no cooks in the room, please?
Not really, but so just kidding. So you're just mixing your butter, you're mixing in chives, garlic, whatever you want to mix in. You can make these butters, that's a compound because it's more than one ingredient, right? So you can make these butters and you can put them in individual little jars and use them for different things, okay? So like if you want to do, let's say you want some pumpkin muffins in the morning and you want to add a little honey butter, right? You can add a little honey to the butter and you can have that on hand. That's always good and fun.
Maybe some garlic chicken and use the
yes.
mix.
Oh yes.
That sounds so good.
So I like to use compound butters. I like to make butters and do that. So I have them and just keep them on hand. So this is getting nice and thick.
It sure is.
I won't tell you, it'll be our little secret, but when I made this last week to try it out, see what I needed to tweak and change up maybe, my husband enjoyed it so much that he went back for fourths. 4 times he came in and had a couple of slices of pork each time. But let's keep that between us.
Oh, well, no. You got to tell the story about Hogan. You got to tell that one. That one was too good.
So when we were making...
Who's Hogan first?
So Hogan is our dog.
Cutest dog.
Hogan is our dog, and he rules the roost around here. And he's extremely spoiled because how many other dogs do you know get to go to Starbucks 2 or 3 times a week for puppuccinos? Not many that I know of, except for Hogan, okay? Well, when we were doing the cookbook, one of the recipes in there is a beef Wellington. And I cooked this beef Wellington to what I felt like was perfection. And I cannot wait for you to see the picture in the book because it's phenomenal. Well, when we had that for dinner that night, Hogan, who typically gets everything that his dad eats, he gets to sample it too. Well, that night, his dad did not even give him a bite of that. He enjoyed every last little morsel and would not share it with Hogan at all. So I think Hogan got a little, oh, you can hear him in the background now.
There he is.
There
he heard us saying.
He's still upset about that. He wanted some of that beef Wellington. Okay, so this is nice and thick. So now we're going to plate it. Okay, so we have our gravy all made, and now we're just going to cut thin little slices or medallions if you want to be fancy.
I like that sound of that.
And we're going to slice them thin. They're not real thin, but not real thick either. We're going to place them on top of our mashed potatoes.
Oh, that looks pretty. Looks yummy too.
And we're going to pour a little gravy on top of that. Look at, can you see this gravy in here? Like, oh, I just spilled it on the plate. Look at, we're not professionals, okay? But we do have fun. And the food does taste marvelous. But it may not be real beautiful right now. Okay. And there you have it. Serve it with a little bit of asparagus, a spinach salad that I put together, and in honor of National Apple Dumpling Day today, my thought is I'm going to put the apple slices into my spinach salad and serve it with a little goat cheese and pecans. And there we have our drunken pork tenderloin.
Why don't you have a taste, Jerry?
We are going to have a taste, but isn't that beautiful? So while we are talking about this and tasting it, wish you were here to taste it with us.
Yeah, gosh. Big block party, right?
Wouldn't that be wonderful? We thought about having a little competition.
Yeah.
Who thinks they could make this?
And photograph it. And send it off to our a journey page where all those who enter will submit one of their pictures to our journey page of their dish. And then on the 29th, you have until the 29th to submit your photos.
Of this month.
Of this month is September 29th, which is a Sunday. And then Monday, we'll be doing another cooking demo. Jerry will be. And we'll make an announcement that time as to who's won. And you want to tell them what they're going to receive for participating?
What we thought is, hold on, I forgot to bring it over here. Told you again, we're not professional. But what we thought is that the winner would receive a bottle of Moravia's Estate Merlot. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
We can get that to you, or you can go pick it up. We can have it waiting there for you. Kind of gives you a chance to go visit the winery anyway, which is kind of what we're all trying to get you to do, right?
And then if you're not local, they also have a website, and we're hoping that we can set it up for you so that if the winner is outside of the area, we can have you purchase, or we'll be responsible for purchasing the item and then having it shipped to you through their website.
Right. So again, all you have to do is make drunken pork tenderloin, right? Plate it, take a picture of it, and submit it to our Facebook page, which is at winecook2. Okay? So submit that, and we will be doing a drawing. We will be looking at the pictures and doing a drawing, and the winner will receive a wonderful bottle of wine. We hope you've enjoyed our drunken pork tenderloin today. And as we close out, I actually cut Carla a little piece, and we're going to see if she likes it.
So good, guys.
Thank you for joining us again. Until next week, have a great week. Bye.
Bye. See you guys.